Hey everybody, welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs,
And I'm David Woldingen.
and today it is time for us to preview Mizzou in 2025, giving our picks for what we think is going to happen. Before we start, please guys go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Spotify. And while you're at it, like the video if you're so inclined. It helps the algorithm, you know how that works. All right. Uh, so I guess first thing, ignore the sunburn. It's fall, guys. Football season's here. Um, yes. Yeah, don't adjust your screen. I am very sunburned. Kid birthday party will do it to you. Um, we did a preview series of five big questions that Missouri faces, and we're gonna kind of not talk about quarterback because everyone else has, and everyone kind of knows the story. And really, there is nothing new to report. There's no separation. So, putting that aside, David, what's one question that you really want to focus on?
So I think the biggest question I want to focus on is our secondary. And the reason why is there were plenty of times last year where they had teams 3rd and 10, third and long, if you will, and they give up a big pass play or someone gets sucked up in a possible run look and just gets burned over the top. Not naming names, but there's just that big playability that our secondary needs to cut down on if we really want to take the next step, especially on defense. Now, some of that has to do with the D line not getting pressure on the quarterback. However, I think there's still a lot to be done with our cornerbacks and our safeties to maybe shut down some of those larger over the top plays, if you will. So, what I am looking for this season is to maybe cut down on those big pass plays, force everything underneath, and hopefully let the defensive line go to work and get some pressure on that quarterback, and maybe just maybe get some turnovers because that was the other thing that the secondary really did not do is turn the football over, which was really frustrating, quite honestly. So if they can get more turnovers, cut down on the big pass plays, I think this defense will really take a step in the right direction.
Yeah, secondary has to be better. We're gonna see. For me, offensive line. In the series of videos that we did, we described it as left tackle, and the situation has evolved to where I don't think you can just say left tackle. I think you have to call it the entire offensive line. If you haven't been following, Javen Richardson and Johnny Williams were kind of the two guys thought to be battling it out for left tackle. And, there was thought, well, what about Caden Green? He's played it, this, that, and the other. And in spring ball, very clear they did not want to do it. Uh, we've now been 1 week where Caden Green has been the left tackle. It has to mean that neither Richardson nor Williams looks to be up to it as far as playing left tackle. So that's concerning for recruiting and depth and so forth. So Caden Green, second team All American at left guard, is now not playing guard. He's playing left tackle. I feel like he's going to be okay there, maybe even pretty good. I don't think it's fair to expect that he's going to be second team All American type good. Now, Dominic Jadis has moved from right guard to left guard. If someone's going to switch from guard to guard, I feel like is easier, less concerning than guard to tackle. And David, would you say I'm that's
Yeah, as a scheme, uh, if you're looking at the scheme of things as a guard, if you're switching from left to right, it's the same. Everything's just flipped and reversed. So if you're
yeah.
still just going from guard to guard, there's really not a whole lot of difference, just the direction you're pulling. It's more of your footwork. Which step are you taking first off the line? And honestly, reps will cover that for the most part. It's a pretty easy switch.
Yeah, and I asked Dave as a reference here because David did play a year for Missouri back in the Pinkel era. So he knows his offensive line. Now, you have all that, and then right guard. What are we doing? Is it might be Curtis Piegler, might be Tristan Wilson. It's
Eric,
not always clear because Wilson is getting reps at center. So, don't know. That seems to be what the offensive line is going to be. So at least there's clarity, and at least Caden Green is going to get a couple of weeks of reps preseason as your left tackle. What's it mean? I don't know. I It might work out all right, but Missouri is on plan G down if you're going down the list. So something that definitely should raise your eyebrow, something to watch. That's my biggest concern and question mark, frankly. Now, let's get to the schedule, David. You know, in in 2024, I had it pulled up here. I'm pulling it up again, trying to. In 2024, David, you were 10-3 and 9-4 against the spread. I was 12-1, so I had you straight up, but I was only 8-5 against the spread. So you had me by a game against the spread. So we each got a win there. So that's nice. Um, Here we go. You know, starting it off, 28th, the Thursday night tradition, which is awesome. Central Arkansas, yeah, enough said. It's a scrimmage. Drinkwitz names the score, and everybody gets to play. Any disagreement?
no, not at all.
Cool.
I
Moving
mean,
on. Moving on. Border War. Here we go. Uh, yeah, this is one where the team has said they feel a lot of pressure. It's a good thing that they're also going to be motivated and fired up instead of just feeling pressure. Early line, Mizzou by about a touchdown. I think they get that easy. I think they win by closer to 2 touchdowns.
yeah, and I think this is where you're going to really see quarterback play and how that comes into things. And I also think it's going to be our first real big look at our defense. I'm with you. I think we'll win this game. It's a home game. The crowd's going to be amped. Border War's back, so there's taking that in consideration. I just think Mizzou will cover pretty easily.
Now, here we go. The next week, the 13th, Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. This one, David, I think is going to be a little tricky. Maybe have a few fans nervous in the first half and then pull away, and it's not really competitive in the second half.
Kind of gives me that. Oh, what year was it? 2000? Was it 6 or 8? Maybe. San Diego State game with TJ Mel.
2010,
2010.
the
Okay.
Mo Miracle game.
Yeah, it was like right in between a couple of games. You're looking at South Carolina next. It's right after the border war, maybe that emotional breather, if you will. Um,
That's
I
fair.
think I think Mizzou could come out real slow, as you were saying, because they did show that last year from time to time. They came out real slow, but I'm with you. I think they'll just out talent eventually and run away with the game, but it might take a little bit to get going.
Yeah, and so far, I don't think we've had anything controversial or really that challenging to pick. I think most Mizzou fans expect to be 3-0 going in to a huge game against South Carolina. Missouri almost had that game in the other Columbia last year. I don't know why I got Missouri in this one. I think they're too good to lose every single big game they play. I think they get it done in this one.
Yeah, I think this is a first step into seeing if they can make it to the playoffs. First SEC game, they're going to come out firing. They're going to have that game from last year on their mind. Not to mention South Carolina's defense had a lot of turnover, so they're still going to be trying to figure things out too early on. I think so. I think especially if the quarterback play is solid, not great, just solid and doing what it needs to do. Brady Cook-esque, if you will. I think they'll win this one.
Yeah, I question Carolina's losses on defense. They got good players, but they lost a lot. I also wonder what's going to happen when the entire SEC has had an offseason to work on Lenoris Sellers and figure out how to slow him down. Now, following week, homecoming, UMass. Yeah, we saw what happened last year up in Massachusetts. Yeah, same song, different verse. Drink names a score next. Any disagreement?
No.
Yep. After a bye week, the Crimson Tide of Alabama come to Columbia, preseason number 8, the highest ranked team on Missouri's schedule, preseason wise at least. I, you know, I think this is going to be a huge game. I think Missouri, I've got them coming in at 5-0. You got a chance at a 5-0 Missouri team hosting college game day if Bama's what we think they're going to be. Prime time. Well, it's already the 11 a.m. game, excuse me. Uh, I got Alabama though. It's going to be huge. It's going to be wild. It'll be different than last year to be sure. But I think the title edge out the Tigers.
Well, and last year, Cook came into this game banged up.
Yeah.
I think, quite honestly, the biggest key to that game is going to be the offensive line because that we just got dominated on the line last year. Defense held up fairly well. It's just they couldn't hold on all game because
Yeah,
the
until
offense.
they just were never off the field.
Yeah. So if the line can live up to what they can do, I think this would be a really good game. But I think Alabama's going to come in and win.
Yeah. The next week is October 18th, and Missouri finally hits the road, which is insane. Going to Jordan Hare for some of the there's a couple of players on this roster where this is a huge revenge game. 2022 down there, the Harrison Mevis chip shot that missed, and then the Nate Pete stretching out at the goal line. Honestly, there are a lot of Missouri people who say they gave that game away, and it's not hard to see their point. I think this might be the biggest coin flip game for me on the schedule. And frankly, my answer to this might depend on if Auburn beats Baylor in week 1, because they're going to be so quick to turn on Hugh Freeze and things could go south in a hurry. I'm going to pick Auburn. I just, I just am. I think wait until halfway through the season to get a road game in, and I don't know. Honestly, it's a hunch as much as anything.
I think Mizzou wins this game. This is where I see it a little differently from you. I think it's the next game that's gonna bite Mizzou, quite honestly, against Vanderbilt. But I'm choosing Mizzou against over Auburn on this one.
Go ahead and talk that Vandy game then.
Yeah. So moving on to the next pick, Vandy. Uh, Part of the reason I'm choosing that is that game last year in Columbia took overtime for Mizzou to win.
Double
So,
overtime.
oh yeah, thank you. Double overtime. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a revenge game. They're very sound at what they do, and Mizzou has been traditionally the last couple of years under drink slow starters on the road. I just think for whatever reason, doesn't matter when Mizzou plays Vanderbilt throughout the SEC, they've always struggled down there. And I think that's just one of those games that's going to come out, and I think Vandy will pull it off.
And see, for me, I absolutely think it's going to be a dogfight. Similar to Lenoris Sellers with SEC coaches having an off season. What are they going to do trying to figure out Diego Pavia? Missouri will have the benefit of this is getting later in the season. If somebody has figured anything out, they can, kind of copycat depending on what it is in personnel and so forth. I also have a hard time seeing this Missouri team lose 3 in a row and lose back-to-back road games. The best thing going for Missouri with these road games is defense travels. And the strength of this team is defense. I got Mizzou in this one. After another bye week, David, probably the biggest revenge game on the schedule. When you look at the three losses Missouri had, Carolina was a heartbreaker, hard fought, almost had it. Alabama, Brady Cook was hurt, Drew Pine just was not ready. What can you do? But A&M, they just came out flat and did not respond when they got hit in the mouth. This is one this team is going to be mad, and they are going to want this. I got Mizzou big.
Interesting. And I have A&M winning this one again.
Wow.
And the reason why I'm saying that is they torched us in the secondary, and that's why my secondary thing is the biggest question. Is they just absolutely burned us downfield in this game and took control right off the bat, and we couldn't do anything about it. And then eventually later on just started running all over us. But part of that was because we get them in a third and long and they'd hit somebody downfield for a big play. So I have A&M winning this until our secondary can show us. Now, when we go week by week, that could totally change based off how we're playing
Oh, yeah.
and how they're playing. But for preseason, I have this one as a Texas A&M win.
Wow. That's one of the rare times where I'm more optimistic than you. You tend to be more optimistic about things than me. Moving on. November 15th, Veterans Day, kind of that week. Mississippi State, after last year in Starkville, and now Mississippi State's best playmaker will be on the other sideline for this one. I not quite name the score, but Mizzou by a lot.
Agreed. And hopefully, not a lot of Cowboys travel.
Yeah.
Don't want to hear those.
Now, similar to Auburn, things could be ugly November 22nd in Norman, Oklahoma. If this Sooners team is not sitting there at what this will be game 11, if they're not at least 6-4, I think it's going to be real ugly down there.
Mhm.
And Brent Venables' seat will be on fire, hot. And that would make things very interesting. Or they could be what they could be 8-2 or so. I don't know. A winnable game, a losable game. Last year is worthless as a reference, let's be honest, because the last 3 minutes of the game was pure insanity.
Yeah, it was.
And they had about 1,500 receivers hurt. Gosh. Eh, You know, I don't think anything is going to come from the whole Venmo sports betting business. I don't think anything will come of that.
Mm-mm.
So I wouldn't get your hopes up there for the OU quarterback missing time or whatever else. I wouldn't expect that to happen. I'll go OU.
Well, and for those who may not know, the quarterback was from Washington State, and that's where all
Yeah.
that
Mateer.
transpires. Yeah. So they definitely have a huge upgrade at quarterback. Um, I don't know if I really believe in the hype of OU right now. So
Oh,
I
I
actually,
don't either.
yeah.
It's I think if it were a home game, I'd be picking Mizzou easy.
Well, and I want to say Mizzou's just going to go down there and win this one. Out of all of them, I don't like to me. This is a coin flip game. I'm going to pick Mizzou winning this one. Especially if they lose to A&M because I think they're going to want a revenge game of some sort. So I think they're going to come out prepared, fired up, and if it comes down to it, the postseason could be on the line. So they're going to be fighting for their life on this one. I think they're going to come out and win in Oklahoma.
Yeah. And things are going to wrap up in Hogland against Arkansas. Uh, they won't be super excited for it because it's not a rivalry or anything. For both this Oklahoma Arkansas set of road games and the Auburn Vandy pair of road games, I always thought Missouri would split both. So stands to reason if I got them losing it in Norman, not like 2023 where the thing was out of hand. It'll be a pretty decent game, but Missouri's going to win because they win this game. every
Well,
year.
it's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be a night game too. I think back to the last time we played down there, we just completely manhandled them.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
um, not saying that's going to be the same. I think this will be a dogfight, quite honestly.
Yep.
However, it could also go really south in Arkansas, depending on their season. So knowing their fan base, so I think I have this one as a win too, just because that's been the track record for Mizzou. So
So how about that? We both pick Missouri different ways, but we both arrive at 9-3, which that's 9-3 in the SEC. If you got Florida's schedule, maybe you're looking at the edge of the playoff. With Missouri's schedule, no chance. 9-3, at least 10-2 to make the playoff. Um, that would pick Missouri. That you 9-3 would get you something like the Texas Bowl, maybe the Gator Bowl, something like that. Because
well, and
Music
I will
City Bowl was last year, so they're not going back to that, and probably not good enough for the Citrus Bowl.
I will say this: Drinkowitz has had a solid knack for winning real close games in the last couple of years.
I'm
So
glad you brought that up.
so if like, and that's kind of why I'm like, it's real interesting because some of these games were real close last year, but Mizzou still found a way to win with the culture of winning with this organization and this team. I feel like if any game is close, Mizzou's going to win it. If it's a blowout, well, it's a blowout. So if they're going to lose, it's going to be by a big margin, and they're just going to stop. If it's a close game, I think Mizzou has enough on the culture side of things to pull
Yep.
together as a team and pull out a victory some way somehow. And that's like I have a better time seeing them go 10-2 than like 8-4, honestly, because of that reason. Unless they just flat get blown out from a couple of
Yeah,
these
and
teams.
you look at the ways they've won. There's been a couple of fluky things. The Oklahoma thing, the go ahead touchdown 30 seconds to go was wild. A little bit of luck there. But some of it's been execution, some of it's been just terrible defense. I go back to 4th and 17 against Florida in 23.
Oh,
They just let Luther Burden go 25 yards and turn around and didn't do anything about it. That's not luck. I do think Missouri's luck is bound to change a little bit. So that's a part of why I don't see them winning both road games in either pair that they have. So
well,
I can't do better than 9-3, even though I think, especially the defense, might be top 15, top 10.
my comment though on that is it really luck or is it their mentality which forces the
Oh,
luck?
and that's absolutely a factor. And that's why
Yeah.
I have a hard time seeing them losing two straight on the road. There's absolutely a culture of winning, and that is a learned thing. I think they I think they kind of learned it with Kansas State game 2 years ago, and then the Kentucky game shortly after kind of really hammered it home of like, all right, we know what to do. And as long as they keep grinding out wins like that, even if it's not every single time, but if they keep grinding wins out like that here and there twice a year, that stays in a program.
Yeah, because the players just pass it down and the young guys see the grit and what it takes and just feed off it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, hey, not if Missouri gets to 9-3, bowl game chance to get to 10 wins, I can't ask for more than that, frankly.
Yeah, they're going for a third year with at least 10 wins.
Never happened in program history.
I mean, would you be a little disappointed? Maybe, just because of the supposed ease of the schedule. Uh, More than anything, the four road games, although they're back to back. So honestly,
But the
talking
over-under is
about,
at 6.5 for Missouri,
yeah,
which I think both you and me, as soon as we saw that, like hammer the over.
yeah, and honestly, the back to back road games might be better than rotating them every other week or something because they get the routine the first time around, and then the second time around they're just right back at it. So it's something they're used to, and they don't have to like change everything from the previous week, if you will. So kind of where you were going with the split, I could totally see that too on the road games. And I know Mizzou went to Lindenwood kind of to mimic
Yeah.
the road routine, if you will, just to instill in the guys that going on the road is different. This is the type of routine we're doing. Get it in your mindset. Just because the first road game's not until October. So,
Uh, On that note, I do think it's important for Missouri to take advantage of the schedule in the first half. If they're not 5-1 after the Bama game, I think there's pressure on the team to kind of steal a road win. I think 4-2 is a bare minimum. I think you really want to be at 5-1.
mhm.
Because if you're there, you've beaten Kansas, presumably, and you've beaten either Carolina or Bama. If you're 5-1 with with those wins in your pocket, and your loss is one of those two teams, you're doing fine.
Yeah, preferably the Bama one because I think South Carolina is one of those swing teams that's on the uprise that you want to catch
Yeah,
before they get really good.
it's such a
So,
barometer game. That's one where don't let them get any more footing as a good team
right.
than just one good year.
Well, and at the same time, it's a way to assert yourself to the rest of the your schedule, if you will, saying, "Hey, we just did this to South Carolina. Look out, we're for real." Type deal as well, because it's going to
Yep.
be that's the first barometer game, as you said. So, in my opinion, out of all the games, that might be the most important game, just because it's really going to tell us what we have for the season.
Yeah, I agree. But hey, guys, it's here. We're what, 10 days away? Yeah, seven. We're filming this on Sunday night, 17th. So what, 11, about to be 10 days, and Mizzou football will be back. So,
Oh,
hey,
hopefully, without all the heat.
oh,
But with everything coming up, we'll keep you updated all things Mizzou. So continue to keep watching us as the season goes on, and we'll get ready for our first preview, if you will. Until then, thank you guys for watching.